Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking. It means a lot that you guys keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. And we're back yet again to recap the final pre-merge episode of Survivor 42. And if you're new here, I hope that I can earn your subscription by the end of the video. Like the video, notification bell, do all that good stuff, please, and thank you. All right, so we open up on a scene with the Ika tribe who just voted out Swati. In the previous tribal, Romeo, along with his main ally Drea, pull in Tori, the person on the bottom, in order to vote out Swati, who had gotten caught in several lies. But they choose not to pull in Roxroy, as he wouldn't have been on board to flip Tori. We see Roxroy telling us, as well as the other players, that he now realizes how bad of a social game he's playing right now, which you would think would be good, but then he follows that by saying that instead of improving his social game, he'll just have to ride the coattails of his tribe mates to get through the merge, which to me just solidifies Roxroy as a final three GOAT at best and an early merge boot at worst. Tori then tells us that she was thankful to make it through last night's vote, and that although she's saying that she is 4 strong with Ika, come merge time, she has no intent of actually working with them at the merge, exclaiming that she, quote, laughs at the idea of the Ika tribe staying strong at the merge, thus inferring that she will flip, but to which alliance is to be seen. We then move over to the Taku tribe, where Jonathan is just being tortured. We see a shot of the Taku tribe trying to stay dry while it's raining, and they're all cooped up in a shelter while the two men are staying quiet. Both Lindsay and Maryanne are chatting up a storm, and I mean they never stop. They go on and on and on. Jonathan is starting to lose his mind and talks about how annoying the girls are in his confessional. Jonathan tells us that he had to get away from the noise, and we see him head off, but not before Maryanne and Lindsay make him play hot or cold to find his water canteen, which visibly frustrates him to the max. He then goes out to fish and comes back with tons of fish. We then see Jonathan hacking at a piece of wood with his machete when all of a sudden Maryanne shrieks in pain, accusing him of hitting her, which he then responds to very defensively, saying that there was no way that he hit her at all, inferring that she's just being dramatic. She then comes back at that by clarifying that her toes were under the large piece of bamboo that he was trying to chop. He claps back, arguing that this was on her for getting too close to him while he was trying to cut the bamboo. She then responds lastly by saying that he, quote, encroached on her workspace. I don't know how the island could be her workspace. It's not like she's getting paid to be out there. I don't know. This is very, very, very confusing. But yeah, Jonathan then tells us in confessional that he's, quote, gonna be labeled as the bad guy if he screams at Maryanne, since he's a 6'4", 200-pound guy and she is a 5'2" small girl. He promptly tells Maryanne politely that he can't argue with her anymore and walks off with Lindsay. Jonathan then throws out Maryanne's name, like to go next with Lindsay, saying that Maryanne's behavior has gotten worse, and Lindsay seemingly agrees. Maryanne back at camp says that she would gun for Jonathan, but he's too good of a shield at the merge to vote out now to Omar. Omar calls the fight stupid in his confessional, adding that the other tribes will use the cracks in their tribe at the merge to their advantage. We then move over to the Vati tribe, where Hai tells us that tensions are high from that crazy episode 3 tribal. Hai says that he does not trust Daniel or Chanel, since they betrayed him at the previous tribal that Vati went to, and that they would be the 2 people on the chopping block if Vati goes again to tribal. We then see Daniel go fishing with the spear, which puzzles his tribe mates, who have watched him sit out of all of the water challenges this season so far. They talk to each other about how bad his arm can really be if he's able to go spearfishing in an open ocean, which is a pretty difficult task. We then go back over to the Ika tribe, where Drea finds the Biora advantage with Romeo, who is her number 1 ally. She now has possession of an extra vote advantage the amulet, which can now be used as an extra vote at the moment, and now the beware advantage. We also see that Romeo wants to play with Drea since she reminds him of the strong, independent women who he works with back at home. And for me, this dropped down Romeo on my power rankings for sure, as this scene kind of felt like Brandon in Tokenshin's saying that he'd be happy if JT won the game. We then see the challenge where all of the beware advantages are finally activated, meaning that Maryanne, Mike, and Drea now all have their votes back, and their idols now have the full power and limitations of a regular idol. The Vati tribe loses the challenge, and when they get back to camp, it becomes pretty cut and dry what the vote will be. It's either going to be on Daniel or Chanel. Both of them are told by Hai, Lydia, and Mike that the other is going home. We then get to Tribal, where Daniel does a great job appealing to Mike's loyal side, saying that Mike is a straight shooter and that Mike will be friends with everyone on the tribe until they all die, which is kind of weird, but it does work with Mike, as Mike buys it, and this leads to Mike later voting with Daniel on Chanel. Chanel then calls him out for saying that he's playing the game by appealing to Mike's loyal character traits. We then get to the vote where Hai and Lydia decide to take out Daniel, and they put their 2 votes on Daniel. Mike and Daniel vote for Chanel, and Chanel, instead of obviously voting for the other target in Daniel, throws her vote away by putting it on Mike, causing a 2-2-1 vote. And on the revote, Daniel goes home 3-0. Chanel voting for Mike was silly. I mean, honestly, like, not only because it's the obvious vote to vote Daniel in that spot, but also because now this hurts her relationship with Mike. She would have been better off just not playing her shot in the dark if she didn't feel like her vote mattered. To me, playing her shot in the dark here at least gives her an opportunity to get safety at Tribal. You know, there's no point in throwing away her vote if she's not going to get something in return. So for me, I think that nevertheless, Daniel does go home, and I do think that Chanel plays this episode pretty terribly again for the second time that she's gone to Tribal. And in tomorrow's video, I'm gonna cover the rise and fall of our pre-merge robbed god in Daniel. And I don't know, to me, Daniel is an interesting character on the show. Obviously, he goes out late pre-merge in a way that's kind of weird. It was pretty obvious that he wasn't winning the game, as his edit has been very like the downfall of Esh. But I don't know. What do you think? What in the world could happen at this merge with even numbers between all tribes and plenty of people ready to make a big move? Let me know in the comments. As I always say, none of this happens without you guys. Without you guys, I'm just a weird guy speaking in a weird microphone. So as always, thank you. And if that's what hurts you guys in the next one. Peace.